10 years looking at developing, coming to where we are right now. And I think that's one of the things to give ourselves a round of applause. The next 10 years is what we're talking about today. Taking it 10 at a time. Is what we're talking about today. We have come to a place and I've seen people develop and grow. And now we're pushing you harder. Because for the kind of ideas that we've been talking about and nurturing and generating, we need to move ourselves to another level of understanding of things. We need to be a little more focused. We need to, we always talk about looking at ourselves first. And we need to take a deeper look at ourselves and understand that in order to achieve the kinds of things we're talking about, when we talk about community and globally and regionally and this, you can't go on that journey with the same suitcase. So we have to put some other kinds of things in our suitcase in order to take ourselves on that journey. Not only for sustainability, but for eternity. That's the kind of language we're talking about when we're talking about out of this retreat here.
Alright, morning. How are we this morning?
We are good this morning.
Excellent. Now you know why you all are here? You know why?
To get a clear picture of where we want to go as a team.
This is the final session for the retreat. So we have to sum up everything.
Okay. Why you came on a retreat in the first place?
Yeah, away from the kids.
On the rest of you.
Wow.
Honesty is good. Honesty is very good. It's very helpful. But why else we came on this retreat? Focus. Okay. Everybody is special, right? Every individual created have a special. Yeah? You know that, right?
Yeah.
But you all are extra special.
What made us extra special?
Thank you. That we have on people. I'm writing it. And while I'm writing it, I want you to think about why this is important. Right? So number one, conscious awareness of self and impact on people. Now, why do you think that's important? Why is it important to have a conscious awareness of yourself and how you behave and how you are and how that impacts people?
Yeah, to be conscious aware of yourself, because the things you do will affect others by feelings or how it might affect their life.
Exactly. Perfect. You hit it up. We don't have to go around because they hit it right on the head. Okay? So, and think about your own experience. We all work or go to school or participate in some community in which there are other people. And we know that how people are affects the environment. So grumpy people is make the environment sour. Happy people have an upbeat energy, raise the energy for everybody. Serious people make the thing kind of serious and tense, and people who are deep and centered make everybody feel like calm. You know what I mean? And oftentimes we just be ourselves in life. And we could have a bad day. We could wake up and something could happen to us on the way to work, on the way to wherever, and we come in a bad mood. And we feel it's alright to be in a bad mood. Right? Somebody just bunks my car. Somebody, pass when I was waiting for a taxi and wet me down. I mean, who shouldn't be vexed for that? Right? So we come through and we just be in a grumpy, vexy kind of mood. Oh, we are not consciously aware of how that's impacting people around us. We are not thinking, is that the way I want people to relate to me today, right now, or at any time in life? So the first thing that we say as leaders, we take on a responsibility for is our behavior. What we are putting out into the environment. And we say that we will be consciously aware of it. Not like just aware, but consciously aware. That making sense to you?
Yeah, sense.
20 cents. So what we're going to go through the 5 and then we're going to wrap, alright?
4 is this afternoon when we're doing the exercises we'll ask you to do. The thinking that we'll ask you to do. We want you to come back to this. Every time you feel the old habits coming in, come back to this because this is the pathway forward. Right? And we're going to be consciously doing that because we are going to, we have a little kit there for you. We call it a kit. It's not much, but we want you to utilize it as we move forward. Right? As I said, this is a different stage.
Alright.
Boom!
So you what?
Alright,
take a shot.
Well, let's max and stands and men doing. So you need wrong with two a little, right? To watch it play.
I mean,
Push up position.
push up position. Don't worry yourself, man. Yeah, just go.
I want on, never?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll fix that.
Yeah. I got you, bro.
But you could do that thing.
Like
Nobody.
No, yeah.
Nobody. You're up. Not up, man. That's what it is.
Why you have one?
Hey, man, that's what it is.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing, but put your
Boy,
hand
you
on your
have no
back.
foot by it one.
It's a one on.
So you can't have no foot and one arm.
One foot.
Phenomenon walking fast.
Pace, man, pace. Pace, boy. Hey, water time now. Water. Yeah.
Notice when we talk about style too, is that some people listen real fast and then they say, alright, we're ready to go. And then someone's clearly paying attention to detail and thinking it through very carefully. And it seemed to me that they were more effective because they maximized the time that they took to prepare and then they executed according to the preparation. So to me, that's what I was looking at. And I can see the difference in the teams because the team that rushed to go first, they come in last.
We came second. No, we came second.
So I know people talk about the game tired, but don't get tired yet. But if you get tired, but don't get weary. And do a pump, but because we have some work to do. Here's what we want you to do. We are going to come out of all of this with what we will call, I almost afraid to use the term because it sounds so political, but a manifesto for what we're going to do over the next year and over the next period. Right? And that's very important to us for the simple reason as we'll find out tomorrow. This Boys to Men program led by you really going to do some real positive and some strong things. Both nationally and internationally. That's the vision, and the vision is clear. So it's going to manifest no matter what, you know. But the hope and expectation is that you lead it. So, which is why we're asking all, and they hear the same theme over and over. You hear it from Jervis, you hear it from me, you hear it from Alan. Move to the next level. Whatever level you're at, move to the next level. You know, ask yourself different kinds of questions and seek real answers. Look for any kind of little challenges that you face and overcome it, because the kind of people you have to lead in a diverse environment they are challenging people, and this world is going to get more and more challenging. People talk about crime here.
It's not child because people pass here and say, well, I know my child, so I don't do nothing. And then after they will say, oh, look at this child doing this and that. But you are not the person to say, well, you're not going to correct the child or find out who's the child's parent and say, well, I want to talk to you about your child, whatever. And there are some parents who are ignorant, so ignorant, they want to hear the bad talking.
What you have to say. What you have to say is most important, because if it changed you, then it could, imagine what it could do for that.
18, older than me. And he was more into weed smoking, like how he was smoking weed thing. Now I realized that, you know, like every night they could just run race in the road. So I talked to the boy, asking if he was to join a practice. Carrying training with the 1 week. I know the boy just run 10.9 seconds. Still stop weed everything. He able to go and catch the next year from that thing.
They make movies, right? They use some of the young men and them that might find the free time to do something else, not constructive. And they actually make these local films, and at the end of making these films, they market it and they sell it. Yeah, they afford themselves income and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now we'll take care of, well, influence of crime, gang, influence, you take care of a lot of the issues because
Correct.
what about lack of support, lack of positive recreational programs?
I wouldn't say there's a lack of that in my community. Even though right now we could do that little football competition, I swear. I honestly, pleasantly, like right now, like come Monday, please God, or Tuesday, please God. I don't think there are no running programs in my community.
There's none.
Like running, but some of these things that I mentioned, or anything, they happened like probably last year or year before and stuff like that. But I don't think anything happened so far for the year.
So
to my knowledge, I could be wrong.
It would have programs, but it wouldn't keep it out, basically.
Yeah, programs will run non-stop. I mean, a program run for 6 months, or 1 year, or 3 months. Yeah. When they want to learn, I did a DJ course, I run for 4 months or so. It's done.
Then when the option come, whereby they have one choice again, they say, alright, I just had this way to go.
That's why we are supposed to give, because it's like they're going through a self-crisis, and you know, they're introduced to this life where things look better, but because of how they grew up or how they is right now, they feel like they can't get to that stage. But now we come more that we encourage them, because they're playing with the two minds. They're playing with the life that they live and the life that they want to live. And we had a big bridge between that, you know, like it's gonna be real hard. It's gonna be real hard. But you know, things like appealing to things they're good at and things they like to do, you know, some youth football. Even for the youth that like to track deals, there's something different.
Yeah?
There's something different in terms of probably know how to compliment a woman nicely, make a woman feel like she has some mood.
True.
I mean, every negative thing have a positive thing, have a positive thing. And every positive thing have a negative thing. Everything have balance. It's fine. The hardest thing to find is to turn a negative to a positive.
My brother was my everything. He was my lifeline. All the shipments used to do and all the wrong thing was in. That was my core. If my brother would go out and I knew he coming home tonight, I used to lie down and wait until he get a call from me. Yeah, we'll play with him and come, you know. I up the load and like, my brother used to come another night and get the same again. When he going inside, I could go and lie down comfortable now. So when he gone, it was like, what next? What now? Any problem, anything I had, it was he. What I got to know, I have nobody else to do. It's just like I was going through a phase trying to find back that person who I could actually sit down, talk to, who I can get a comfort from again. So until I get back to that spot, and then I realized that the only option is me. I had to change me.
How we gonna make a difference? And how what we doing, how what we are going to do impacts upon the stuff that we talk here. Because we can't be doing things in isolation unless it impacts upon something. You understand what I'm saying? Alright.
We are Tobago. Now, my name is Castle Campbell, as you all know by now. Hello dear friend, you're the only female, so I see you. I definitely see you. This is Diamond Payne, and this is Shaki Murray. Now we had a little brainstorming there, and we came up with 3 suggestions in how to deal with these situations at Bogo. And our aim is actually at making Boys to Men known in Buku and at large Tobago. Because to get change across the board, you first have to be known. People have to know what you stand for. And to bring us the first suggestion, we have Mr. Diamond Payne. So can I have a round of applause and encouragement, please?
Good night again, everyone. Alright, well, as you all have heard before, we have 2 ideas, and this is just the first one I'm going to explain, and then my partner Shakim is going to explain you the second one, and then Mr. Campbell is going to do the third one. Right? While brainstorming, ideas was popping, but none of them were really getting what we actually wanted, so we was almost stuck. And then Miles, he suggested an idea. He said, why not have a Boys to Men program, but for the parents? So it comes like you're defeating the problem, but from the youth, because sometimes problems lie at home, and it doesn't always entail where they end up going into the streets and they learn it from there. But it's actually where it starts at home. Things they see, what they grew up around, things they're learning. And we came up with a name for it, so we will call it Parenthood. And then we were getting more suggestions about it, things that might defeat it, things that could be problems. And one of the problems were that I don't think some parents would want to take criticism from people who aren't even parents, and they would think we aren't qualified enough to talk to them and tell them how to raise their children, which is true. Some parents would do that. But then again, if let's say 10 parents come out and we at least get 2, those 2 could tell another 2, right? And we were trying to get people from Tobago to talk to people in Tobago, so they wouldn't feel that you coming from there, you don't know how it is here, right? So you get examples of people who actually had it hard and people who made it throughout, right? I recently had a chance to meet the ambassador, and he used to live in Trinidad before he went to America, and he was telling us the story about he used to live in Laventille, and they used to be able to play and do all that now, but we know that can't happen now. So he said it's happened his heart to come back home and see that happens now. And he was saying when he went over there, he was picked up on because he didn't have the intelligence like all the other students. He used to struggle in school, and he said he had to humble himself, which reminded me of this morning when Mr. Warner.
Yeah, Mark and Mr. Warner was talking about. He said he had to humble himself and sometimes ask for explanations while getting insulted about it. And he said that's what created him the man he is for today. And he went on to become some high-ranking thing in the army, and now he's the ambassador. You know, he's the ambassador of Trinidad now. And that was just one of the examples what I draw from. And hopefully this could work, because some parents might actually take the understanding, because when they're inside after 6 and they're children outside, we are the ones seeing them, and we are the ones who know what they're doing, right? And so when they're selling you their fairy tale dream, we actually know what's going on, right? So we would not be pinpointing and saying, well, Taddy, your son doing this outside, right? We'll be doing it on a general basis, where
everyone will have a clear understanding of what's really going on and the things that they could do to raise their children better. And that's what we came up with.
Lovely.
So you all get the point of that, right?
Yeah.
Parenthood, where we're not actually telling you how to raise a child or criticizing, I use criticizing, but we're just giving you key pointers because we were not too long there ourselves. And some of the things that you neglected from us as kids, you're probably doing to your child right now, causing him to revert to other things outside from the home to build attachments to. So parenting is about showing you, not telling you, but showing you what's currently going on. Right? And now we have our second idea for Mr. Shaki Murray. Another lusty one of our person in one.
Our second idea is to, I don't want to say it right, to bring someone to speak, someone who was either high up in society or someone who dealt with drugs and is now successful to a point. Someone who could just relate information to not only youth but parents as well. Because as Diamond said, it all starts, well, most cases it starts from home. So we were basically thinking like, okay, we don't want to go into politics, so we wouldn't ask the chief secretary or someone like that. We would ask, let's say, Orvin London, because he's no longer the chief secretary. Let's say we ask Orvin London to come, he could talk to youths, parents, teachers, whoever could take the information and either pass it on or take the information and soak it into themselves and try and make a difference. That information, seeing how it came from someone in a high position or who held a high position, most people would rather take it than to take it from us, because that is just how people are.
Right, so the third idea was an initiative titled Manpower. Manpower. Now the initiative, the idea behind Manpower is that we've noticed that one of the lacking factors in our community is that the men that are there now are very old. They aren't as young as they were to help out in the community in case there are odd jobs and ends that, you know, elderly folks weren't done, probably a little queen or some bricks move around the house, but you wouldn't pay a labourer to do that when you have so much youth in the village. Long time it was just, hey, all come, all over some juice. We decided that we're gonna create some coupons and offer it to the elderly folks and most of the adults of the community, and they use these coupons to request our assistance in helping out in stuff like labor, probably as far as painting the house, but we're using disclaimers as we are not certified. We are not certified. So use your coupon for what you expect. And the idea behind this is, one, for team building. We want to get away from only meeting on Thursdays, because to be honest, the Diamond, Shakim and Roger, I don't like them at all in the village. Those younger guys to me, we don't really know to build on. Anel, myself and Miles, we like. And just recently, Barry moved into our community. And we realized there's a gap between the understanding that we need to be a bond and come about to this idea together. So, one, the first thing coming out of this Manpower is for the boys and men to come together and know each other. You know, we're doing stuff together, we're more likely to know stuff about each other there. The second idea is we let the community know that we are a body of people that are made to help the community. We came here for a purpose, so this is like endorsing ourselves in a sort of way. And we're thinking that off of Manpower we have plenty spin-off. Off of Manpower we could probably engage in something like your boy could cook. This is not, I'm going to put it out there, this is not completely funded by Massey. This is a fundraising initiative, because boys and men shouldn't be only dependent on Massey. They should be able to see that we are able to be independent. And from your boy could cook, we are hoping that Mr. Sean Breeze, utilizing the talent of Mr. Sean Breeze, along with those Bryce, sorry, that was Breeze.
Continue.
Utilizing the talents of Mr. Sean Bryce, along with them old school cook. I don't know them old men could cook. Them know to cook the bushmeat and thing. We do a 2 weeks program. We tell we to advertise and say, you know what? We're doing a video to show that we made this meal. We made this meal for our community, for you all to come and sponsor something positive in the community. And from this, we see so many spin-off. We see the young versus the old, as the boys, the men decide to take on the old villagers who were key sportsmen in the village. We see getting into the community where we get to meet with the older folks. We see the idea I first had was make me wise to share your wisdom, because we haven't been bridging the gap between generation where things used to be like this and things are currently how they are. How do we make the present a time where we could be happy? At least co-create. At least we could cope and say things won't be perfect, but it's acceptable. Nothing is acceptable in Trinidad right now because of how things are. So all of this spinning off from the team Manpower. And that was the third idea coming out of Tobago. And that'll be all.
Yeah.
Boys the Men was run for 8 Saturdays. It changed to 10. Alright, you all aware of that, right? So, what happened, what we realized is that after 10 Saturdays, we kind of lose that touch or that companionship with the guys and them with you. Alright? Have you all been experiencing that issue too as well in Tobago and all the other boys the men? So, right, off season. Alright, but sometimes we don't want too much of the off season because we lose them totally. Some will get lost by even death as far as that. Alright, so we want to create a momentum where after 10 Saturdays we still in constant communication with the guys. Not neglecting our personal life as well, but this is us. We serve. Alright? So me and the guys and I came up with having a text blast. Alright? After the graduation sessions and stuff, we will have all the contacts and stuff. We will create a database, and from time after time we send messages to the whole boys to men cell. Alright? Now that message could give them updates. We can even coordinate and set plan events. Alright, I guess Castle was sitting close to us because he basically talked about what we had spoken about, and that's okay. Alright, saying it twice when really, it's good. So we plan to have events. Alright, we plan to do events. Alright, events like help out the elderlies in the community. Alright, in keeping with the togetherness, because we have those guys come out. Now we don't only play football together, we don't only listen to wisdom whenever wisdom is talking. I mean speakers coming in and other, but we work together too as well, which will also develop a togetherness. You understand? A relationship that will last. And according to the third point that we had this morning, a relationship, a meaningful relationship. You understand? Get the young men involved in what is that? Volunteerism. Right. Get them involved in that and charity. Alright? Do a little painting for the elderlies. Go to children's home. Assist. You understand? And sorry?
No, the children.
Oh, cool. Yeah, with the children around Christmas time, we want to have a little treat. Question. I'll take it after.
You sure we're sitting close there?
Right, it's not like, right? Well, that's good. We are one team, one team, one goal.
That happens with manifestos.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want to get the young men involved in assisting in community development programs. Alright? We want to take 2 to 3 Saturdays during the program and do volunteer field trip. As we want to go into the homes and them and hear those and have those while we're doing work, whatever they want us to do, pay to. We want to have a little discussion with them, a dialogue. Alright? And have these people with all the confidence and with all the in their comfort, share their life story with us. Alright, how it was for them in that time. And we could even raise issues that are affecting us now and ask them how it was for them. It mightn't be as real as now, how it was and we could just relate and have them share their experience, because we could get ideas even from them that could really, remember a lot of people, a guy once said the richest place on earth is the cemetery. And people never really get a chance to, write his books and bring his album and do this and do that and do that. But some people, because of the age now, they cannot do what they really wanted to do. Boyz II Men is here to create that vehicle for them. It will be off of them, they will get the credit, but they use us as a vehicle to get it out. Right? So we want to offer that to them too as well. So we want to also target new locations. We just don't want to be in Shogunas over and over and in Cuba over and over. We want to go all over. If we say South Central, you want to wipe the whole of South Central if possible. Spread it like a virus, as Shamari said. Alright? Let me give Tia an opportunity to just run through number 6. Well, yeah. You can just talk about the new locations and the...
Well, good night, fellas. My name is Tia Betel. From the South Central. The new areas that we were looking at were Santa Flora, Sijas, Icacos, Separia, Palo Seco, and Cunupia. Because within us, discussing and throwing in different opinions within the group, we came about with these areas because, probably from experience or what we saw probably just passing by in the community or whatnot, and we thought as a group that it would be a good idea that we have programs in these places, to see what the area is like, going to the schools and them to know exactly what chance vest in the schools. You understand? So that is basically the areas where we were looking at. And the next point that we came about was creating a database of resources to give to the guys when we identify a problem. And that is like we solving or coming up with ideas of solving all the problems that probably that they can't really understand, or they put it to us and we try to help them solve the issue, solve the problem, or solve whatever situation that they're going through that they really don't know how to cope with, right? Because we looking at the ages, well, not the ages, sorry, but the teenagers that probably might have problems at home. We want to be able to let everybody know that they can come to us and talk to us, as big brothers, you understand, as a brotherhood. They can come to talk to us no matter what, no matter how difficult it might be. We're here to help them no matter what, and we're not here to belittle nobody, we're not here to down nobody, but we're here to help each and every one of them grow as an individual in society, and to show them that it always has someone out there that cares and loves them. So that is basically what we came up with within the discussion of the group for the South Central cell.
Sat here and everybody was talking about how we might only be there for a short time and then we just leave and then we'll come back and all that. And with that said, everybody went and they came up basically come up with just about the same idea, the same concept, right? So I might just sound a bit repetitive, I'm swearing to you all, right? Because I said to myself is that what we need to do is that we need to install agents in different communities, whereas as you say, like talk to the parents, because a lot of parents don't know what is the Boyz II Men program. So is that we want to have something that we work with some other adults in the communities, right? And even partner with our next organization when it comes to like counseling and stuff like that. So like something happens at 9:30 in the night or happens right through and they're not able to contact us or doesn't want to contact us. If there's a neighbor or somebody in the community that they're willing to go to, especially when it comes to the Port of Spain program in particular, whereas you're talking, we more deal with school when it comes to the Port of Spain area. It's not to say like everybody come from Navadirty or everybody come from Mayaro, that kind of way. You're talking about some fellas living St. Babs, some live in St. Paul's, Mango Roads, Duke Street. They live in different parts. Some people live in Carnage, right?
Maraval.
Yeah, Maraval. It's just that we would actually want to have like counselors and people that could understand and could talk to, within this community and share their problems with, as well as us. Understand? So that I believe the Boys and Men program itself can actually start working with other organizations with the same like mind. Because if I can remember correctly, the way that Boys and Men came into Never Dirty was through Love Until Foundation, right? And that was a partnership. Understand? And Love Until Foundation doesn't do much work in my community anymore, but they left something behind, and that's Boys and Men, and Boys and Men left something behind. So I was saying, once again, like getting other adults in the community to help, because even though you said teach one, where is that was going?
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one. You would need adult to help you, because maybe I go in and talk to the next 15-year-old, next 16-year-old, may not really be able to help my problem. As opposed to adults with better teaching and better knowledge that I was trained better to help certain situations. So like for like serious situations and issues, like allowing people in the community to have proper counseling skills and stuff like that to help. Work with the village councils, work with the presidents and stuff like that, install this stuff. Realize that, right? Also is as we said, like the off season, we did say that the off season is difficult, right? So we'll get other groups so that if the Boys and Men, we run at 8 weeks or we run at 10 weeks, right? Let's see what other community-based organization we could pull to follow up and do something else to keep these boys occupied, right? Sometimes, so there's continuation, a continuity within this community. So let's say Boys and Men Passion, we do something, then we get Love Until Foundation to come through and do something, then we get whoever else it may have to CSP to come through and do something. So there's follow-up. So all year long, they are engaged, right? So the fact that we are looking for like out of mind, out of sight kind of, because in the absence of us, they may just relapse. It is possible, it happens, right? I really like that text blast flick, that's that flick. And field trips. You also like to, thinking about sports clubs with the Boys and Men. I mean, maybe as well as might be like certain kind of sports. You mean? Have them out there pushing themselves to a sports club, like a football something, a basketball something, because most of these communities have basketball courts and all-purpose sports, right? So we can help them foster their own little group based on sports within the communities, right? And also we open to have at least 2 programs in each community for the Port Spain program, Port Spain, Never Dirty, and Simple. So a total of 6 programs we need. That type of way. That's about it.
I want to touch on parenting. Now, we notice in society, now we're talking about bridging the gaps, right? Alright. So, we identify the problems. Parenting is one of them. And we identify that have a lot of single parents, a lot of single mothers, a lot of single fathers, and where peer pressure comes in with that is that your friends have a bigger influence on you than your parents. So a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, parents or single parents will have problems with their children. How we will deal with that is to have programs just like this. We have other programs just like this, the Boys and Men program, or YMCA and stuff like that, Big Brother program, and they talk about the same things we talk about. But honestly, there's only so much you could do for an individual, because the vanity out there. There's so many things we touch on, everything linking, just like the branches on a tree. There's so much branches on a tree, it's going all over the place. The vanity, the guns, the drugs, the media, all are getting soaked in. So with the Boys and Men program and programs like this, we do our best. We go there, we conduct programs, we talk some knowledgeable stuff, we spread our wisdom. We as mentors, we learn also. So we polish our system, our way of thinking and talking. I, as an individual, and number one, and what we talked about today, being aware of yourself and how you impact others, is a serious thing. I, as an individual, I have to know where I stand. If I want to be a future parent, I have to know how I want to bring up my children. You understand? How I'll impact others in my area, in society. They have to, if they go in the wrong way, they people like myself and younger coming up, they would see somebody, they know good from bad. and they would see somebody in the community doing the right thing, and maybe they might send the children to me. They say, alright, there's a good one in the community, maybe you can learn something from him, because everybody can identify those who go left and those who go right. So we see that in society.
I will touch on drug abuse. Well, drug abuse now, what we need to do is get the awareness of by actually taking these drugs into the system, like marijuana, smoking and things like that, and the actually drinking. Because if they know that smoking actually ruptures and destroys their lungs, if we show them images, videos and slips and actually promote it more, that by doing this, it actually had this effect on your body.
I represent the women's program.
Alright.
Alright, one of the things that we discussed was what age group should we target? Preteen, early teens, late teens, young adults. And after a little discussion, we decided basically we're gonna leave the age range open, because we might go into Port of Spain and the older teens or the young mothers or the young adults need the counseling more. We might go into Miaro and we could capture the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, the 13-year-olds and mold them into future leaders. Right? So that's one of the things for the women's program, the age range. We're gonna do it based on the needs of the community. Right? The next thing I want to touch on is movement. Now this is something, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry. Jonathan said many times that what we need is movement. He was referring to the Miaro program in Boys to Men, right? But the women's program also need a movement. As in, you all have run this program for 10 years plus. From the beginning, it was feeling out the situation, you know, making plans, that kind of thing, coming up with the actual program. Then after a few years, you all had the recall movement. Then after a while, you all started to train future leaders. What we plan to do is to learn from you and start a women's program and start that movement right away. So from the beginning, we're going to start a train women to be future leaders. Right? We're going to follow up, because we're learning from you all. Right? That's one of the things you all need to do. We're going to start to do it too. Right? We're going to follow up, especially with the people that show interest. Because Jonathan was saying, from how many ever years ago, one of the first programs, the youths kind of pass him straight. They remember. They show that interest. They will make him out in work, or if he go street, that kind of thing. They remember the football. You know? So we want to hold on to those people that have the interest. Right? And the last point is to manage the program with more focus. Right? So, like I said, we're going to learn from you all. You all took time to develop your focus. But what we want to do is start with the focus, because we're learning from you all. So we're going to have a clear focus, a clear organization, and a serious intent. Right? And what we want to do is try to, once the program kicks off fully, try to merge the two programs, not completely, but every now and then join the boys to the, you know, girls, let them link. Right? And that's all I will say for now.
For me, Arrow is within a movement. So Joanna said before she knew that returns, right? So So when I say I build a movement, here we had the sessions. I think Jamil, right? Jamil said earlier that these are the sessions 1 day a week. So like 1 day we come and we talk nice and thing, and we tell the fellas, you know, it's like they the right way and they way I do, and you know, we show them right there and thing, and then the next 6 days we're in the face. You know, it's like the same drugs, everything right in the face now. So the whole idea of the movement is to get the fellas to meet and rap together on a more regular basis. So it's not just on a Saturday morning when boys come in having sessions, right? Like this is not what we about. So You know, just to try and get that spread throughout the rest of the country. Just to get everybody to be a brother's keeper, right?
Because I have to add to that, right? Because where I'm in Port of Spain there, I was shop right on Frederick Street. So every Monday we run the Port of Spain program and whatnot. So like once the guys then realize or figure out where I am, they're talking about my place is filled with them. I mean, and especially stay them a lot like more than I should. You understand? Because sometimes they'll fill up my shop and when customers come down the room to sit down. Right? But it just goes to show that they need a space to also exist in. You understand? They need a space to exist in outside the walls and the headache. A whole more life and things. So that's what we're talking about installing stuff like in the community and make sure that people to talk to. Because they'll come to me and they'll talk to me and they might even complain to me about some others like, but Taddy like this one kind of slipping, but I know 1 minute he like this, next minute he like that, and I know if you see me I talk to him and whatnot. Even though if them was partial as they had as some of them had job, most of the tranquil fellas, because at a point in time before the Spain program was just tranquil, I swear to you. Right? And they just pass you and check me and we talk and we conversate, check up how we're going, everything good, and there's a continuation of advice and mentorship. Right? So I say once like in different communities we can have something like that. I don't know how that's gonna happen because everybody has their own life. So the same way like you might have a guidance counselor in school, if you can like community guidance counselors, I think this might have to follow the government part of social development or community development or something, but all of that. And somebody else we could partner with as well. At least for the Port of Spain people, I look for the rest of the country for about all here is the East Port of Spain Corporations. Because they do all of that stuff. Because with the East Port of Spain Corporation, other than the boys to men that I am part of, I've went in different communities, Sealots, Barcelona and stuff like that, and I've taught spoken word, and even using the tool of spoken word, many other tools are implemented into the young children and stuff like that.
The main thing between why I hear Jonathan saying and why I hear Taddy saying is like we need a center, and I think it's something that was mentioned before. I don't know how it's gonna fit in if that could happen this year, but we definitely need a boys and men space then, so to speak, like a headquarters. But I just train it out.
To your point, I think it's the two things in terms of having somebody, I mean your point and Taddy's point, having somebody there and who's going to see about it when we can't make it. Is like from now we need to be able to identify young men who is the next generational leader. Because we all know those guys.
It's not succession planning.
That is exactly what I'm looking for.
You have adopted a term out of business that everybody's comfortable with. It's not succession planning. It's just keeping the leadership growing.
Because
that's all it is.
That's exactly what I said.
Because I don't want anybody to succeed you. You understand? I want you to stay with it, but your role and your understanding becomes different. So and that's what we talk about today. That's the term. Your leadership now had to go to another level. But what you were doing before needs to be done still, and we haven't been developing that second tier of leadership. And what Taddy's talking about in his story is like sometimes coming and say, boy, I could see how that could happen. But like, people need a place to go, and conversations been going on around that, but I'll talk about that a little later, maybe even tomorrow. We have 5 categories here of areas that we had identified before in leadership responsibilities for people. I would like us to sit down and brainstorm what we could do over the next year. This is different from the programming. We're talking about events, programs itself, different ways we could do programs at an age or whatever. PR, how we could reach out to do the networking that we're talking about. Communication, how we could keep that going amongst ourselves. And talent development, which is critical to us and critical to the people who we serve. Because over the next few years, if somebody have a talent and a gift, that might just be the currency that they need to make it. And we're facilitating that.
One thing we talk about is feedback. Feedback from the boys themselves, with the participants, and feedback from the community, feedback with things have changed. We also had an idea where
in the program, the beginning, parents and the community get involved at the first week and they come back at the last week. And prior to the graduation, we do a small activity. Because we notice whenever we are seeing our numbers in our bridges, people ask questions, despite curiosity. And if we taking a spin and we're changing from when boys together they're in gangs, that's how the idea was. You need to see boys together and now ask what's going on with them. So we're taking a spin and we decide that before every graduation you should have a small community activity. Nothing too extravagant, whether you just take a day and you clean the beach or put a spin on a beach. So take a day and we decide we paint around the center, or we paint along the car park lines that are missing. Once you see boys together doing something in one color, people are going to be curious. It was mentioned that must have a day of care, or the panel somebody for a day of care. Now this is what related to communication. Apparently communication isn't that strong there where they know in advance. So they want to gather a team. Communication week where they want to tell you 4 days or 3 days prior. There is not enough time to gather responsible men because they have responsibilities. You're not iron fellas. You have other responsibilities because they have plans. So in terms of communication, we need to pull up. That is on Maxi behalf and on our behalf, because we need to use the website more. I understand. Okay, fine. Aki is in charge of the website. I didn't even know that. In terms of using the website and getting the website out there, when media is concerned. We're talking about cell individuality. Each cell has to have the individuality. Mayaro has its football. We talk about Port of Spain. This is as we relate to events. Now I just bring on Port of Spain could develop a boys and men pan versus the pan fraternity. Listen to me, Shamari, and watch me like that. There seems to be a lot of people with talent here, and I think we need to utilize that. But in terms of taking on the community, or because everybody like healthy competition. Do you want to say Tally representing boys and men versus all the poets in Trinidad and Tobago? People are going to come to that because people want to prove they're better than Tally. And that is a forum for us to advertise or to take control of, not take control, sorry, to take, take advantage of and say, well, Tally is actually part of boys and men. Some of the inspiration comes here. Bring people on board, and that will say with the pan too. If we decide that boys and men pan fraternity versus the rest of pan Trinbago, people gonna come just to try to beat us because they don't know how we sound. Fraternity wide, take advantage of that. We pull in people, we get people on board, we show them, you know what? Pan is about discipline. This group was formed through determination,
With one unit, but just so far what we did, we have 3 things scheduled for the next year, right? We have report number 2. We think it's about time we do our next report to get members back again and build a stronger team base where there is concerned. We had ideas of having a Mother's Day and a Father's Day program, well such event. But instead of doing that, we decided to collaborate the both Mother's Day and Father's Day and just have a parents appreciation day. Instead of Mother's Day and Father's Day is something that they're done entitled to. Right? So instead of giving them that, the BTM having a parents appreciation day on a special day that we'll keep. The last thing that we have, we're gonna have a BTM fair in each location. Starting with Port of Spain, I'll just give you an example. What we plan on doing is raising awareness of the Boys to Men program. We'll have pamphlets, we'll have giveaways like keychains. We want to have live entertainment from the BTM members. Other giveaways we're looking at is on the Boys to Men DVD. So on the day we could have a little bag with some stuff in it, and one of the things we want to do is give them the first Boys to Men DVD that we did. We want to give people that. We're trying to raise awareness in each, when I say each location, about for example, like point 14 and our liaison with Andrew right now, with Iran, point 14 and library, we want to collaborate that, so we'll have that in one centralized location. We'll do Port of Spain, and we might do one in the East-West corridor or something like that, and obviously in Tobago. That is the 3 things we have planned for. Yeah, I started with the record number 2. Okay. Yeah. One of the things we want to do for the record number 2 also is after each session we find 2 or 3 people who from the program have certain leadership qualities that we think we could use them to join the record team. What we're going to do is we want to get them responsibility for the record number 2. So, for example, transportation, we want to have them involved with that so they could build a relationship and reach the level that we are right now.
So with talent development, what we suggested is that maybe we could have, we're trying to reach the community as much as possible, just small, simple based community talent shows. Talent shows in the community itself, whereas the boys, so when we go in, and you mention that we want to see what talent is there in the community of Buku, or Mayaro, or St. Paul's, right? And with that we get the willing bodies coming out to give what they have. And just before the talent show, we could work with them one-on-one and then develop their talent, right? And have the talent show. Cool? Yeah. And that's one step, right? And after we have all these different talent shows in the different communities or in different cell areas, we thinking about having a end of year concert. Now, why does the end of year concert even answer what you're saying? We could even have like talent directors or talent development agencies, or let's call them again like scouts. Yeah, scouts, but I name when you're talking like performing and say, well, let's call them like people who belong to labels or organizations that does these things now, right? So they could be there and they could see what they like and they can help foster and develop it. We can approach them and let them know we have a well of talent here through the archipelago of the Boys to Men program. That's type of way. So that's that. Now, one of the things we're having difficulties in is that it's very easy to spot performing talent. If somebody sounds good, you know they can sing good for the most part. The actor, you know, that's what kind of acting skills, they can play the instrument, it's very easy. But what do we then do to try and find the athletic talent or somebody that's capable of handling with their hands? Right? We didn't get nothing just now there when you were sitting speaking to a certain extent. But when Shamari came and he spoke about having a fair, in the events and stuff like that, in my mind, it occurred to me that in the fair, now when we giving a bit, he said he's gonna have small little prizes and stuff like that. What can they do to win a prize? How about a little penalty kick, shootout, stuff like that, so you'll find them kind of stuff, right? Or some kind of puzzle or word game to see how quick the brain is and stuff like that. Yeah, domino, draft, these different things, so you'll find many different talents through the fair. So that's what I'm gonna get there, right? So have athletic little games within the fair so you can find the more athletic or the physical talents. Right? So that's it, basically small community-based talent shows. Whereas in the talent shows, we get to know who is in the community, what the community has to offer, and we can work with them as best as possible. Now the question was raised, what is success to us in the talent development, right? And one of the answers is that if the person, the individual is now more competent and more believe in themselves and the talent to do and push yourself more, that's one level of success. And also national recognition. Yeah, it's like I play the piano all the time, but what I want to make you make cards like Gulston and start to give out and say you want to perform in weddings and stuff. So you get that kind of recognition, right? And for that we would need the help of, once again, partnering, right? We can probably assist in this and collaboration with different groups and organizations that can help them, that can better them beyond what we can offer, right? So, anything else? The family day. And you will think about a family day also. So, with the family day, you'll find who can run fastest and them kind of stuff now. So, as a next way, the sports and family, right? So with that, they can also find more of the athletic talent. And you know what I'm saying? That's about it. So talent show, much I mean talent show, see up to a full concert, and the concert itself would be able to raise funds and get revenue so that we could then call for continuity to then have more talent shows and more concerts in the years to come. Yeah, co-creating a future.
Well, firstly, I want to say, for the kind of stuff we are planning here or wanting to do, we will really have to find ways to generate income for ourselves. And events was right about what they were saying, and we have to find ways to generate more income for ourselves. Establish a Boysterman account and do events and do certain things, you know, and we can have fundings coming from there, not only Massey only. You understand, agree?
Yeah.
Right. Now more finance means more opportunities, more freedom, so we can do certain things and go certain places without any sort of restriction. Alright, so in terms of programs, now Boys to Men, we love quality, not just quantity, we love quality. So therefore, if we looking for new locations to have new programs, we looking for top quality places. We don't want to go in an area where I set a pigeon mess and we can function in that capacity. So we, the team here, we want to scout, right? And in scouting, we're looking for good cooking caterers within the area. We're looking for a good location with a nice ground facility so we can have physical activity, good classroom with air conditioning and things, because we want our people to feel comfortable. Alright?
Right? We came up with 4 main areas. First one is reaching the existing participants. Next one is reaching the general public, people that don't know about us. Internal communication, and then communication with Massey.
Alright. First off is 16 participants within the Boys to Men. One is bridging gaps between programs. So therefore, like how Mr. Jeffers said yesterday, if the Boys to Men are not present for a certain length of time, like a police youth club or some other social group could come and pick up from where we left off just for that space of time. Second one is the 1 day a week is not enough. It's just not enough because 1 day a week, 6 days of bad influence, whether here or there, it just is not enough. Text blasts, WhatsApp groups, other social media groups.
So the second area we touched on is reaching the general public. And first thing we have was actually visiting schools. And we have this going already where some persons will visit schools. But then right under this, what I recommended was have BTM reps for different schools in the area. So you will be the main contact that the school will be able to contact if they need any sort of thing. You will be able to go out to the principal. I think Shamari does it already with Ms. Forbes. Main contact,
when you
anything.
used to until things get hot down Nelson Street.
I was in contact with Ms. Paul just last week, yeah? I don't go.
Nice. So we want to implore more Boys to Men leaders in a role like this, where you live in this community, you will be responsible for a certain demographic. So you will be responsible for it. So if programs coming up, Mr. Jeffers could ask you, hey, we need persons from this area. What is looking like? You should be able to say, well, I'm in contact with these persons. I could go out to them and get them, right? So I find this would have been a very good strategy, having Boys to Men reps for appropriate areas and schools. We have one of the other things I suggested for communication-wise is that we have a very small pamphlet or leaflet newsletter that we could place in schools or we can have it like at different locations throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So persons can have a read of what we do on a daily basis, what we are about, and where we are going. So it will have contact information, emails, whatnot. So this way we can attract the public to what we are. When we go to different institutions, we could walk in and we will see a little pamphlet, we will pick it up and read it. Yes, that is the same idea I want to create for the Boys to Men, right? We could send out any newspapers, but I think this is a bit costly, but we could do it by means that we can, right?
We're going to be involved in that. I don't know if anybody else wants to be, but format it in such a way that it becomes our manifesto that everybody will have. Watch me, Raja. Everybody will have and be responsible for. So what comes up here is not something that, you know, a record of something that's put on the shelf. So let's make it happen. I know it's been a challenging time with all the arrangements we had to make, but that's always so with our first retreat. Maybe the next retreat will be in the Magdalena in Tobago.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And most of the participants will stay at Castle's guest house.
Which castle?
And the one after that will be held in Ghana.